Hi guys. Welcome. I'm making this video because boy did I have a rough night last night. Sorry if I look rough, but I had a pretty bad attack of vertigo last night out of the blue. And the reason I'm making this video is because I know a lot of people suffer from it. That's not something I suffer from on a regular basis. The last time I had a vertigo attack was back in 1999, and that one was so severe that my then husband had to rush me to the hospital. It was so severe they had to knock me out. They gave me a shot to knock me out. It was horrible. And it lasted 4 months, which was even worse. And the only thing that took care of it and cured it was Xanax, amazingly. Well, anyway, last night this just came out of nowhere. I mean, I had felt kind of funny during the day, and then last night it got kind of bad. Felt nauseated, went to bed ready to call an ambulance or whatever. I even texted my daughter and told her, you know, I'm going to take a Xanax now to see if it helps. And if I call you in the morning, you might need to take me to the hospital if it's still bad. Well, luckily the Xanax helped tremendously. And today I'm just a little off balance, not real bad like it was. And the reason I'm making this is because I did a lot of research on what can bring on vertigo, and there are a million things, but in my case I'm very curious because, guys, I have been gluten intolerant for over 30 years, especially wheat. Can't eat wheat without having bad digestive problems, bloating, diarrhea, what have you. But they do have these pills called Gluten Ease that you can get at a health food store, and you can take those and eat wheat and not have the digestive problems. Well, I have been not eating wheat and not many grains in general, or dairy, for a very long time, many years. But after I bought the Gluten Ease for Christmas so I could enjoy some things, I thought, why not? I have them. So I've been eating wheat daily for about the last 7 days. 7 or 8 days daily. Take my Gluten Ease, eat my wheat, no digestive problems. But I did start noticing I didn't feel quite as well as normal. And come on, baby. And I thought, oh well, I thought maybe I was just tired, what have you. But then when that happened last night, I thought, wow, that's pretty bad. I haven't had one, I haven't had a vertigo attack since 1999. And come on, baby, you're right in front of the camera. So as I was researching different articles on what could bring it on, well, amazingly, there's one about gluten. And I was shocked to find out I knew gluten and wheat and grains are not good for you no matter what they say. All that was created by man, and taking those grains of wheat and turning them into food, which, yes, they've been around forever. It's been around forever, but go on, baby. And of course there are a lot of people who don't have any issues or think they don't have any issues caused by wheat. Yet it is well known that grains and dairy cause inflammation in the body. That's been known for quite a while. But wheat in particular is really bad because it's been altered so much. Wheat is not what it used to be 60 years ago. It's been altered and geoengineered so much. It's not what it used to be. And so I was reading this article and I thought, oh wow, I've also been getting headaches, which I never have suffered from. I've never been a person to suffer from headaches. I've been getting kind of light headaches daily, and I thought, wow, you know, I'm not feeling the greatest. So when that happened last night, I thought, I really need to research what can bring on vertigo. So I'm going to read this article to you, not all of it, but what I found about gluten sensitivity and vertigo and Meniere's disease. So I'm going to read this real quick. Gluten is a known neurotoxin, and for many patients with gluten sensitivity, nervous system diseases are the only symptoms that manifest. Some neurologists have studied the connection in depth. To date, gluten-free has been shown to cause lesions in the brain and nervous system on MRI. Gluten has been shown to cause the body to make antibodies against nerve tissue. Nerve damage improves on a gluten-free diet. There are a number of neurological diseases that have been shown to improve with a gluten-free diet. The following is a short list of related neurological manifestations of gluten damage: facial palsy, migraine headaches, seizure disorders like epilepsy, blood-brain barrier permeability, aka leaky brain, schizophrenia, bipolar disease, sensory nerve pain, neuropathy, and autism. That's just some of them. And then it goes on to talk about gluten imbalance, what it can do to your balance, that type of thing. I can't read the whole thing, it's a lot. But I am really surprised how this attack hit me, because I don't eat wheat on a regular basis. I had to stop years ago. After my 4th child was born, I started having sensitivities to wheat. Then went on to find out it's probably, you know, gluten too, but that wheat is the worst. I have a doctor who told me wheat is the absolute worst because of the way it's been altered. So I'm not going to be touching wheat or dairy. I have been eating dairy with my lactate pills, and both of those are known to cause a lot of health problems. And you know, guys, I guess the reason this really has me curious is I think back, you know, for those that say, oh, wheat and dairy have been around forever, on and on. I think back to some of the articles and videos I've watched of long, long ago, when they used to put people in, remember, insane asylums? They used to call them insane asylums. And they'd throw them in there and they were just considered crazy. And they were horribly mistreated. And it does make me wonder if these people were having some kind of food sensitivities, because it's well known now that food sensitivities can affect your brain, your mood, your whole body. And when I was eating really clean, what I call clean, I was just eating fruit, vegetables, meats, nuts, drinking mainly water, not juices and coffees and all that. Of course, I always have my coffee in the morning, 1 cup. But when I was eating, excuse me, clean, I didn't have all the issues that I've been having since I started eating the wheat. And I already knew that by eating wheat, I would actually feel my joints hurt and ache a little bit the next day, without fail. I could eat, let's say I ate a pastry or a sandwich or whatever that was with wheat. I would notice my fingers a little swollen and my joints hurting a little bit the very next day. So that was something I didn't do on a regular basis. I was like, nah, you know, it's not worth it. But because I got these gluten ease pills, thinking, well, since I have no digestive problems now, because when I eat wheat and gluten, I get diarrhea, bloating, just feeling horrible. And for whatever reason, I was like, oh, I don't care. I'm just going to enjoy, you know, sometimes when you have to eat gluten-free, sometimes you just want the taste of real French bread or a real pastry that isn't gluten-free. So I've been eating that stuff for several days, and I have noticed my health decline I noticed a little achiness in my knees, a little achiness in my fingers, even a little swollen. And I thought, I guess last night happened to knock some sense into me, like, no, just because you can eat wheat with the gluten ease, that doesn't give you a ticket to just keep eating it. So I'm not going to touch wheat. I'm not even going to take a bite of wheat or dairy. Dairy also, I became lactose intolerant after the birth of my fourth child. And but you can take lactate again to provide the enzymes. But dairy causes problems besides just digestive problems. It also causes inflammation and causes a lot of health issues. And I know people are going to say, oh my gosh, we've been drinking milk and eating wheat and what have you forever and ever. Well, there's also been a lot of health problems forever and ever that sometimes make me wonder if it isn't all, a lot of it attributed to exactly what we eat. Because I really believe that, you know, whatever created us intended us to eat what the earth provided in its state as it is, not how we get the grains and we do all kinds of stuff. I don't believe we were supposed to eat grains. If you haven't heard of the book called Grain Brain, look up the book called Brain Grain by Dr. Perlmutter, I think it is, Perlmutter. And it gives you a lot of information about what grains do to the brain and the body concerning Alzheimer's, dementia, all kinds of other health issues. And I believe that we were intended to eat meat, fruit, vegetables, nuts, drink water. I really do believe that because when I was eating that way, I felt so much better. I had a lot more energy. I've noticed my energy has waned since I started eating grains and eating dairy. My moods have been up and down. They have found that grains can affect your moods. They have actually found out that grains, particularly wheat, can actually cause depression and severe mood swings. And if you read that book, Grain Brain, I'll put the name of it and the I'm sure it's Perlmutter, but I want to be sure. I'll put it on the link, you know, the description below. But I have noticed such a difference in how I feel. And not to give too much information, but I've noticed, you know, when I move my bowels, it's a lot looser, it's like irritated. And I thought, man, this, after last night as I lay in bed recuperating from the attack, thank goodness the Xanax just started to take it away right away. As I lay there thinking about it, I thought, wow, you know, I changed my diet completely, eating junk food, and because of the holidays, right? Eating junk food and eating the wheat and eating even the gluten-free grains. It's still grains. I was eating my gluten-free bread, gluten-free stuff regularly, as well as the wheat, and eating the dairy, you know, the yogurt, cottage cheese, cheese, you know, just various dairy things. Man, my health, I have to admit, it started to go downhill. But being, you know how you get when you want to eat something and you say, oh, to hell with it, you know? That's kind of the state I was in, thinking I've got my lactate and I've got my gluten ease. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy this stuff. Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. What I was doing before is I would treat myself just once in a while. It'd be like, oh, I feel like having something that's actual real bread or a real pastry made with wheat. And I'd have one, maybe two a month, just as a treat. Same with dairy. I'd be like, oh, I feel like having cottage cheese because I love cottage cheese with syrup. Isn't that weird, guys? I hate maple anything. Maple syrup, anything. I hate anything maple flavored, but I love it in cottage cheese. That's the only way. So I was like, I want my cottage cheese with my maple syrup. It's something I love. So I was eating that too with my lactate, just enjoying all this stuff, and I really felt my my health going down. And then I noticed when I was eating this week, because it's been several days, I started noticing that when I would eat, like I would get a piece of French bread, heat it up in the micro, melt butter on it, so yummy. I'd eat it, I would start sneezing right after. And I thought, this is weird. I'm always sneezing after I eat wheat. What is this? Well, in doing research, that's one of the symptoms if you're allergic, one of the many symptoms if you're allergic or have a sensitivity to wheat. I couldn't believe it. I was like, sneezing? Sure enough, guys, and I thought, I'm going to test this. So that evening, I hadn't had any wheat since the morning, so that evening I thought, I'm going to test this. And I got a piece of French bread with butter. I can't help it, it's delicious. I grew up with my dad eating French toast, or French bread toasted with butter. And it smelled so good. So that night, I got some French bread, ate some. Sure enough, guys, within a couple minutes after I ate it, I'm sneezing, just sneezing. I thought, here I've been sneezing off and on throughout these days, thinking it was whatever outside, and it's because of the wheat. So, yeah, I've had a lot of issues, and do your research. If you've got health issues that you're, you know, you got to be careful with doctors too nowadays. I really have a hard time trusting doctors anymore. They're out to see you and say, oh, this is wrong, take a pill. Because they're all in it with pharma. We all know big pharma and doctors are in it together. But if you know, are having weird health issues, like maybe your joints are hurting or achy, maybe you're having a lot of digestive problems. I even read how the gluten and the dairy can affect your vision because of the inflammation it causes. In fact, when I saw an eye doctor, the last time I saw an eye doctor, and I was told how healthy my eyes were at age 68, I had to think about that. I thought, gosh, I don't eat grains, I don't eat dairy. I protect my eyes from the sun. But then when I researched, I found that dairy and grains in general, but wheat is the worst, guys. Unfortunately, it's the worst. And amazingly, that's what tons of people eat, by the tons. And there are people who are going to say, oh, come on, you know, people have been eating wheat forever and drinking, eating dairy. Well, kind of makes me wonder about all the health issues, because like my homeopath doctor says, your food is either your poison or your medicine. And, oh, hold on guys, sorry. Hello?
Hey, did you get my message?
Yeah, I did.
Did you call them?
Oh, no, let me do that.
Yeah, call and make sure, because they've denied me with Sean before without his approval or him there.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Okay,
All right, bye.
I love you, baby. Okay, bye-bye. Sorry, guys. Anyway, it does make me wonder about the health issues that so many people have had and not acknowledged in the, I mean, let's face it, your doctors are not skilled and trained in diet and how food affects us. They're just not. They'll look at you, they'll say, oh, you've got aches and joints, you got arthritis, here, take the pills. Oh, you've been having digestive problem, here, take some pills. That's why I truly don't trust doctors very much. If they tell me I have something or there's something wrong, I will research before I'll go take their medicines. And I'm glad I did, because there's a lot of, the majority of them, they're out just to make a living and be in it with big pharma. So if you're having health issues and and you're, you know, wondering, gosh, this came on, that came on. I don't know. Stop and think about your diet. And artificial sweeteners too. Oh, artificial sweeteners are so bad for you. They're so bad for you. They mess up your pancreas. They can actually cause diabetes. Now they know that. Now they know that artificial sweeteners can actually cause you to get diabetes because the pancreas and the body do not know what to do with artificial sweeteners. It messes all the whatever up in there, and it can actually bring on diabetes. And then you're stuck with diabetes, and you're, you know, you're thinking, well, I'm going to, you know, continue to eat and drink anything with artificial sweeteners. Well, now they're finding out how bad that is for the entire body, including the brain. There's one called aspartame that they now know affects the brain. So I really believe that a lot of these foods that we eat are very toxic. And a lot of the foods we eat now have been altered and messed with so much. The soil has been altered and messed with so much. And they fool you with this whole organic thing. They use a lot of toxic things too. They just happen to be organic toxic stuff. I mean, you can eat a weed that's poisonous, it'll kill you. So that's organic, but I ain't going to do that. So, I really believe, to be honest with you, after the way I ate with just meat, fruit, vegetables, nuts, water, just the basics. I wasn't even eating my gluten-free bread and things except once in a blue moon. I stuck with just the basics, and I felt a million times better. So guys, I just wanted to make this because that attack last night really got me thinking, what's going on? Why all of a sudden? Today I'm going to be taking it easy. Thank goodness that was my daughter that called. She's picking up a prescription for me. I wouldn't be able to drive and go get it today. And it's a prescription for Xanax because I have been on Xanax for anxiety, and I've been weaning myself off of it very successfully, so I'm very happy with that because I don't like being on any kind of medications. But I knew I needed to refill it today, and I couldn't drive. I knew I couldn't drive, so thank goodness for my kids. Bless her heart, she lives, 25-30 minutes away from me. So she had to pick up her little grandson, my little grandson from school, and then she's going to come over here and get the prescription and then come bring it to me. So, yeah, I just have to say that when I did have an attack of severe vertigo back in 1999, I was put on different medications that did not work. It was so severe, guys. I was vomiting. They had to knock me out. I was so sick with it, and over 4 months period, the medications didn't work, and I finally went back to see my old doctor. I've talked about this before, and he said, let's try Xanax. It seems to stabilize the ear for some reason, and it got rid of the vertigo back then, and it was a bad case, really bad. So last night when this happened, I thought, okay, well, I've got one Xanax left. I might as well, because I'm weaning off of it to the point that I'm down to 0.25 at night from 4. I've been doing it very slowly because I'm not going to be trapped into using benzos. No way. But I've been doing it slowly so that the withdrawals don't bother me. There's no withdrawals. So that's been a good progress for me. But just to let you know, Xanax is the one that took care of it for me when all the other medications didn't. When I had that severe case of vertigo back in '99. So now today I'm a little, but not the kind that was so bad. I couldn't even walk last night. I was holding on to the walls to go to the bathroom. It was bad. And that's when I thought, oh yeah, I have Xanax. I'll take one. And sure enough, I took half of a 0.25. and that brought me down from that crazy state you get in where your head feels like it's spinning, or you feel like you can't walk or anything, or you can't even move your head like this. 20 minutes later, I was like, I can feel it coming down. And then when I woke up today, I took the other half, because I'm taking the one at night till I'm completely off of it. I took the other half when I went to bed, and I woke up, I was like, oh, whoa, 100% better. Just a little off balance, but not that terrible spinning feeling. So for me, the Xanax helped with the vertigo. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this video because, boy, it was rough last night, and I know a lot of you out there suffer from vertigo or Meniere's disease. And that article really opened my eyes. It was like something, because I was told by my homeopath years ago, you're very lucky that you can't eat dairy and wheat and grains a lot, because they're not good for you. They're not good for you at all. Well, this little break I had of thinking, oh, well, it's the holidays. I've been eating that stuff off and on since Christmas month started, December. And then the last several days, I'd say the last 10, 12 days, I've been eating it daily. It's like something said, no, this is not good for you. Don't do this. We're going to make you think about what you're doing. That's what it felt like. So, yeah, I'm not touching dairy or wheat, and I'm not even going to touch gluten-free for several days now. And I'll go back to what I was, which was I'd occasionally have even gluten-free grains, just occasionally. So, anyway, I just want to let you know that, guys, and think about what your diet is, because it can be toxic, and like my doc said, your poison or your medicine. I got to rest today. I got a little headache today, everything from all of this. So talk to you later, guys, and have a good one. Bye-bye.